All right, good morning, everyone. Today is January 26, 2026, and today is, again, another live trading session. I'm going to change it up a little bit today. I'm kind of just going to make sure that this video is majority of me talking and kind of just breaking things down. And then, again, I'll still record the session, but I'll kind of just jump through whenever I'm talking because I've gotten some input that's just a little bit more helpful than you guys just seeing the entire trading session sped up. But again, same premise as always. Looking at gold, US 30, and NASDAQ. Gold has opened at this 830, looking to be bullish. We also have a sentiment that is bullish on gold today. So we'll see what this does as the session continues. And then we have US 30, which US 30 sentiment came out as bullish today. And as you can see, this first candle has started to open bullish. So we'll see if that wants to reach into some form of higher time frame liquidity. If we look here, there is a fair value gap here as well. So we'll see how this reacts to this fair value gap on the 1 hour time frame. And then we have NASDAQ as well, which NASDAQ is doing, or we have gold, which gold is bullish. And then we have NASDAQ, which NASDAQ has the exact same premise as US 30, which is looking to be buyer's premise today. So again, we'll just sit on our hands and wait to see if an opportunity presents itself. But that's kind of what the sentiment is so far today. Okay, so currently what I'm looking at, again, we had 830 that opened. Like I said, the sentiment for everything today has come out as bullish, and NASDAQ has currently created this bullish fair value gap with the 830 candle that I'm looking to see if we can take an entry off of. But basically, this would be the protocol entry for today that we were looking at. And it just missed us. It just missed our entry. So therefore, again, we'll continue to sit on our hands. Again, US 30 is kind of doing the same thing. US 30 has made a 5-minute fair value gap as well at the entry of the session. And so if we can get a pullback there, we'll look for buys here as well. But our main trade that we were looking at, which was this NASDAQ trade, is now ran. Okay, so just kind of a breakdown of what I'm seeing right now. Again, it's 8:51 right now. We've had NASDAQ open up bullish with that fair value gap that we were looking to take off of the 840 candle. But as you can see, 840 candle missed our fair value gap and then started running to the upside, looking to try and attack this previous high of the week. We are now a couple of points off of that previous high of the week, but we are still looking at probably taking this out for today. Now, we are in the extreme of price, meaning that we've already started to trade away from our first presented fair value gap of this session. So realistically speaking, we're most likely not going to get an entry on NASDAQ before it reaches its objective. Again, we have 8 minutes till 9 o'clock, which is the new hour. So we'll continue to monitor it and see what it does. But again, ideally speaking, the only entry that we're going to even be able to look at as a potential to take is if price reverses back down to this fair value gap and then sweeps it. And then we can see if we want to look for potential trade possibilities from there. Jeez. And then we have US 30. US 30 is mirroring NAS today. Like I talked about, the sentiment for US 30, NAS, and gold all came out as bullish today. If we go on a higher time frame on US 30, we can see the price action from last week's low to last week's high. We saw that we had stabbed into the lower liquidity end of last week's price range on Friday, I believe. This is Sunday going into yesterday night. Or Friday going into yesterday night, given that market opened. And then we've seen today that we've started to open back bullish. If we look at an hourly time frame, we see that there was a fair value gap that was presented here with the Friday 7 o'clock candle that's already been broken by today's price. And so therefore, from a higher time frame perspective, the next objective we would be looking at is this 1 hour bearish FVG for price to try and trade into. That also aligns with our lower time frame, because like I said, NASDAQ and US 30 are mirroring each other today in terms of both being bullish and both looking at sweeping some form of higher time frame liquidity. We know that where we are currently in price with US 30 at 835, we did create the current high of the day. So we're still trading pretty close to that. But basically the same exact premise for NASDAQ is what we're using for US 30. We had a fair value gap that was created at 830. And so we would have liked to see us pull back into this bullish fair value gap. And then we can look to take entries up to this 1 hour fair value gap. And then final update for right now is gold. Again, gold is kind of just doing its own thing right now. Sentiment did open as bullish, but as we can see from 830, we haven't had any type of pricing that has shown us any form of direction today. We've had sideways candles so far that are consolidating, and we've had no expansions or retracements that are giving us any probable opportunities to take to either this high of the day or this low of the day. So like I said, we'll continue to sit on our hands and wait to see if any opportunities present themselves. But this is the current update. Okay, so we've now gotten our entry on gold. Just as talked about, again, just walking through one more time, we have low of the day that was created at 350. We have on a higher time frame, this gray box is indicating the 1 hour FVG, and we also have a 830 bullish fair value gap that was created in the market. Again, price started to revert and try and go to the upside. We know that we have a key level at 49,500 as well as this 1 hour fair value gap that is sitting up here. And so again, with that pullback on the 5 minute into this first presented fair value gap of the session, we expect for price to react off of this and then go bullish and take out highs for the day. On the contrary side of that, if we look at NQ has already taken out the high, the previous high of the week, which is what we were talking about. Again, looking at that 5 minute to try and get that entry, but it ultimately missed us. And then if we go down to gold, we see that gold isn't really doing anything. Gold did create this 5 minute fair value gap here with these two candles here. So gold created a 5 minute fair value gap with the 850 candle, but as we can see, that is already at the start of this hour, kind of getting flipped. So that is invalid for us. But yep, that is basically the only thing that we are now in and looking at today is for US 30 to continue to be bullish for the day and take out its current high of the day, and then eventually get into this liquidity pool being the 1 hour. Okay, so that basically concludes today's trading session. Again, just one more explanation, even though I know I've explained it already today. The premise of today's trade, we knew we had low of the day. We knew we had higher time frame liquidity being this 1 hour fair value gap here. Sitting on the 5 minute coming into the session, we got an 830 bullish fair value gap at the start of the session, and as well as we know that we had a sentiment that came out as bullish for today. So all we did was we just waited for our opportunity to present itself, and at 9 o'clock we got a pullback into this 5 minute fair value gap here. And again, our first target was the current high of the day that was set in the market. Our second target was 49,500, which is what I explained before the trade started, because 49,500 is a key level in pricing. And then our next target was going to be this 1 hour fair value gap that we expect for price to actually pull into. But yeah, pretty clear cut, pretty bread and butter. This is basically my A+ setup. And so yeah, taking this with full confidence on a Monday. Like I talked about at the beginning of this video, I'm kind of just changing up the formatting of the videos a little bit, just making sure that I'm explaining a little bit more rather than just having price run throughout the session. Hopefully this gives you guys a better explanation of kind of what's going on, and so you guys are able to keep up a little bit more as you guys go throughout y'all's journeys. Other than that, though, please just give me feedback on how this new style formatting of video is. And other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow for another live trading session. Thank you.